So first off, thank you very much for allowing us to introduce our company, Signal12, and our very unique product, ProOcular. I'll start with an executive summary. The problem we're out to solve is called ocular graft versus host disease, or OGVHD. This is a severely debilitating and devastating eye condition that robs people of their sight as well as their quality of life. OGVHD is a complication of bone marrow transplants where the donor's cells recognize the recipient cells as being different and attacks them. It just starts this devastating, destructive cascade. There are no approved treatments for OGVHD anywhere in the world. Our solution is called ProOcular. It's a very unique product. First, it is not an eye drop. It's an odorless, colorless gel that's applied to the forehead. And I'll explain why it's applied to the forehead in just a couple of minutes. From the MOA, ProOcular stimulates the ophthalmic branch of the trigeminal nerve to cause the production of endogenous tears and reduce the ocular pain. And by the way, the pain associated with OGVHD is equivalent to a chemical burn, according to the NIH Visual Function questionnaire. And this product is not just a theory, it's been tested in 3 phase 2 trials. In each one of these trials, ProOcular achieved statistically significant and clinically meaningful improvements for both signs and symptoms. Finally, I'll end this slide by saying that this product is phase 3 ready. We've been to the FDA, we've discussed our phase 3 plans, and we have agreement about the key study parameters. See, we all know that physicians and patients have fought with eye drops for many years, but forehead delivery eliminates many of the issues that are listed on the slide. Eye drops are messy, they're hard to instill, they are tremendously inconvenient. Well, think about this, twice daily forehead application of ProOcular would reduce the number of annual applications compared to BID, bilateral eye drops, by 730. And we would reduce the number of annual applications compared to QID, bilateral eye drops, by 2,200. It's a tremendous convenience. So why is ProOcular applied to the forehead? Well, ProOcular utilizes transeppendygeal delivery, which is new for ophthalmology. Transeppendygeal delivery is delivery through the hair follicles. And believe it or not, your forehead has the highest density of hair follicles, in fact, 10 times the amount of hair follicles compared to any other major body part. In addition, your forehead has high density for nerve endings for the ophthalmic branch of the trigeminal nerve, which plays an important role in our MOA. As to our MOA, ProOcular actually utilizes neural signaling, or uses neurons to communicate with the brain. So it uses neurons to communicate with 2 specific areas within the brainstem spinal trigeminal nucleus. And that is the rostral VI-VC area to increase tear production, and the caudal VC-C1 area to reduce ocular pain. So quite a unique product. On to some data. So if you look at the slide under OGVHD, or the part under OGVHD, this study was done at Mass Eye and Ear, 33 subjects in the trial, 2-to-1 randomization. And as you can see, ProOcular achieves statistically significant and clinically meaningful improvements for multiple signs and symptoms, including central corneal staining and sandy frequency at weeks 2, 6, and 10. And importantly, effectiveness was carried out through week 117, or 2¼ years. On the right-hand side is the earlier work we did in dry eye. Again, very important work, but again, statistically significant and clinically meaningful improvements for signs and symptoms. Importantly, in all these trials, there were no discontinuations due to drug, nor were there any SAEs. This gives you a closer look at the endpoints of the OGVHD trial, because OGVHD is the indication we're pursuing. This shows you sandy frequency. On the right, you can see the p-values versus placebo, weeks 2, 6, and 10, highly statistically significant. And on the left, you can see the improvements versus baseline at weeks 2, week 10, and all the way out to week 117, or 2¼ years. This shows you the second primary endpoint, that's central corneal staining. Again, p-values on the right versus placebo at weeks 2, 6, and 10. And on the left, you see improvements versus baseline at weeks 2, 10, and again, 2¼ years. What about AEs? Well, it's got a very favorable, ProOcular has a very favorable AE profiling, and when you compare it against dry eye products. Now, these dry eye products listed here were not in our trial. This is from their SABs. But ProOcular had 2 AEs that were above 2%, and that's headache and rhinorrhea. Now, both these AEs were very mild upon presentation, and importantly, they usually occurred only once. And that was the case in 14 of the 17 headache cases. They did not repeat, just once happened. Same thing with the rhinorrhea, just 5 of 7 cases. Again, no SAEs or AEs. This shows you our path forward. It should take us 2 years from money raised all the way through FDA approval. And this shows you the team that's leading this charge. As you can see, you know many of the names, including Vincenito, Jim Mazo, and Bob Dempsey. This is a slide I'm not going to talk to because I've gone through everything here, but I just thank you for your time and your attention. And we certainly hope we can alleviate some of the anguish that OGVHD patients go through every day. Thank you very much.